How to disassemble and change the screen of an HP Pavilion 15-AU123CL. So first what you want to do, remove all the screws. There's one here, and then they hide one underneath this. So one here, one here, one here, one here, and then 4 along the bottom, another one here, and then this one holding the CD drive in place. So once you remove that screw, they all use Phillips 1 or PH1 or J1 you can use. So once you remove that screw, you can pull this CD drive out. Once you got the CD drive out, open this up. So there's a little gap here. So what you do is you get your nails between there or a pry tool and you just pull it out. And then once you get started on one side, you can close it and then just go all the way around. So you go from the side where the screen opens, then you go around this side, around that, go around to the back. Make sure to unclip all these pieces. And then this side you can't undo it, so what you do is after you get those sides out, you just lift it up, wiggle it around, and it pops out. So you got that. So whenever you want to change something that kind of has a lot of power running to it, or maybe anything, RAM and hard drive usually you don't need to, or the fan, but anything that uses more power like the screen, or if you want to take other stuff out, you want to disconnect the battery. So this battery's here, the cable goes around and it connects here, so you want to remove this connector here. Just wiggle it to the sides, wiggle the sides, and it'll come out. After you disconnect that, you open it up, hold the power button for about 30 seconds or so just to drain any residual power. Do that. 2, 3. Don't really have to hold it that long, but I say that just to be safe. So that's probably good enough. So once you do that, then we'll get to changing the screen. But first, looks like this USB board you can replace separately, which also has the audio jack. There's a cable under there. RAM you can upgrade, hard drive you can upgrade, and then this is also a separate board. That's the SD card reader. Then the BIOS battery, got the wireless card, and the processor is soldered in place, so you can't change that. LCD connectors here, and then yeah, speaker cable, and yeah, okay, that cable. So now I'll show how to remove the screen. So the screen actually on this model, they hold it in place with some adhesive. So I already broke the adhesive, but usually what you do, you'll just pull up on this. If it's stuck with the adhesive, you can slide like a thin tool. I use this metal tool, but you can use anything. You can use like something less risky, like a plastic tool or playing card or something. People like to use guitar picks. So basically you just go around. Make sure not to use too much force. You should hear it clicking. And then just go all the way around. If it doesn't come out from pulling this side, you can sometimes wiggle the top edge and it'll unclick. So yeah, once you do that, the bottom one has a lot of adhesive. That was kind of a pain, but since you're replacing the screen, you don't really need to worry too much. So usually I just kind of slide my finger along. It's easier since I already removed it once. But yeah, do that. Move that piece. Then you got 4 screws. One here, one here, one here, one here. So you remove the 4 screws. Okay. Remove that. Just remove all 4 screws. These are just holding the screen in place. Technically they're not really necessary because the frame holds itself in place, but just removing it just to show you the process. Okay. Usually I'll put them back just in case. I like to leave things the way I got them, so yeah. So once you do that, make sure again that it's drained. You don't want to have any power in there. Once you do that, sometimes there'll be a little adhesive holding this connector in place, but it looks like this one doesn't really have much. So once you do that, you just pull that back and remove that. Then you take your replacement screen. Same thing. Just be careful when you put the connector back, because sometimes it doesn't line up right, and then if you try and force it in, you can damage stuff. So make sure you get the bottom parts underneath these two pieces. That's the most important part. And let me see, once you get that, you can use I like to use the corners with my nail and just pull it in place. So you just do that. It's hard to do with one hand. Okay, so you just do that. Make sure, double check both sides. If you have two hands, you can pull both. And then, yeah. But yeah, make sure it's flush. The gap should be like almost not there anymore. But just pull it, make sure it's flush. And that's pretty much it. Then you just put the screen back in place, flip back over, make sure this cable here goes into the gap. There you go. Get that into the gap there, and then get all four corners lined up. There you go. Once you got all four corners, just put the screws back. Reverse the process. Put the four screws back in. Okay. It's hard to do this and then focus on what I'm recording, but yeah. Put all the screws back in. Put that screw back in. Screw back in, and then snap the screen bezel back in place. So I usually start with the corner, just go all the way around. Go all the way around. Sure it's all snapped in place. I'll double check it after I'm done, since it's hard to do with one hand. Reconnect the battery. Let's get the battery in. Put this back in place. Make sure start with this side. Get all of that in place. Snap it all together. Put the CD drive back in. And then just to make sure it powers up. And the screen should come on. It's the battery. Oh, maybe his battery ran out. But that's pretty much it. And then, oh, here's the screen. Now it's working. Just had to plug it in.